least some of that's a lie. So that's what you've been hiding under those drab clothes. Oh, look, 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 look. Hi, I'm Sack Marionette, doing business as Bargain Counter Argument, and I am a middle-aged lady in a tiara, talking about books and counting down to Valentine's Day. It is Wednesday, February 11th, and because it is Wednesday, it is time for midweek motivation. Almost. It starts at 2 p.m. and it's 1:30 p.m. This is Eastern time if you ever see this video at some point in the future and you want to join in. Wednesdays at 2 p.m. Eastern. It is a live stream with sprints, and usually during those I read a category romance during the sprints and keep everybody updated as to thoughts, feelings, and just general what is the tea. So today I'm going to be reading this Harlequin Presents by Madeleine Ker called Tiger's Eye. Very colorful, eye-catching cover. I think this was originally published by Mills and Boon in 1989 and then reprinted in North America by Harlequin for their May 1991 lineup. It's number 1361. And Madeleine Ker, I first read a Madeleine Ker book in high school. It was called Virtuous Lady. This is the author blurb for Madeleine Ker. Madeleine Ker is a self-described compulsive writer. In fact, Madeleine has been known to deliver 6 romances in less than a year. She is married and lives in Spain. At least some of that's a lie. Madeleine Ker is actually the pen name of, I think his name is Marius Gabriel, who is a professor of literature and literary history who also wrote adventure stories and decided to try his hand at romances. And when I read Virtuous Lady in high school, I really, really liked it a lot. I thought that it had a better sense of humor. It was very lighthearted. It was also in the Harlequin Presents line. And it was very lighthearted for Harlequin Presents. It had a fun story. The couple was fun. And the dude did not try to impress the lady by belittling her or having the wrong idea about her or anything like that. They went on a hot air ballooning adventure together, and it was like a collaborative relationship. It was really a lot of fun. And I liked the way those relationships were depicted when I read that in high school. Now I'm going to be reading this one today, and we'll see how Madeleine Ker's work stacks up many decades later. This is the description. It is a single dad romance, by the way. He was tall, dark, and dangerous. He has a light tan. Well, I guess it's kind of a strong tan. Not that dark. Blaise Oliver was also a high-powered businessman who was out of Layla's league. Not that it mattered. She was only interested in her temporary role as his personal assistant. Ooh, boss secretary. At least that's what she told herself. Only she wasn't quite immune to Blaise's charm and good looks, nor to the needs of his 2 children, single dad. But with the glamorous Kathleen already secure in Blaise's affections, Layla knew she'd just be heading for heartbreak if she wanted to be a part of his future. I'm hoping Kathleen is like the kind of rival where it's like a mistaken thing or where she's like really nice. I don't like it when the rival for the male main character's affections is like this like totally irredeemable person. And just a horrible, horrible woman, and she's like supposed to be a fat foil to the virtuous female main character. I like it when there's a little more complexity there. Okay, and also I will be reading before my next clip because I'm gonna record this, do the live stream, and then come back and share my thoughts on this book. I'll also be sharing my thoughts during the live stream, so I'll put a link for that in the description below. I will also be reading the next story from Meet Cute, and today it's the 11th already. We have bows on a hot pink background, and the bows are kind of like a burgundy and hot pink background. I love hot pink. And this one is 259 Million Miles by Cass Morgan. Ooh, I think I know what this is because in this description here, this book includes 14 stories of unexpected attraction, chance connections, and lucky meetings. Whether they're waiting for a flight or trapped in a bathroom at a house party, in them running for an interstellar mission or appearing on a reality show, the characters in these stories are surprised by love. I'm guessing that with a title like 259 Million Miles, I'm guessing that this is the one that's about the interstellar mission. I don't know that 260 million miles gets you out of the solar system. I will have to report back later. Okay, it's a couple of hours later. I'm in the middle of a sprint during my live stream, having a lively time of it. This book. Madeleine Ker really, really let me down. Like, this is just awful. She is a temp. She goes to Barcelona. He's an English businessman, but he's trying to have a vacation in Barcelona, but he needs somebody to assist him with clerical stuff while he's also having a vacation with his children, who are kind of brats because he's a terrible father. And his daughter, who is 15, Miss Thing here is 24, and he's, I think, 37 or 38. She's like, she tells her, she warns her before she even meets the dude. The daughter warns, what's her name again, Layla, warns her that her dad, like, keeps hooking up, well, that these temps show up, they seduce her father, and then he fires them. Well, that's what the 15-year-old thinks is happening. This is what actually happens, is she shows up. And as you can see, she's wearing a bikini here in this picture. She shows up, they have lunch, and then he's like, I hope you brought a swimsuit with you because I like to work by the pool. And after they have their first lunch, he's like, okay, go put your swimsuit on. We're going to go work by the pool. And she says, I'll just keep my dress on. And he says, no, you need to change into your swimsuit. And she's thinking, I only brought a bikini. I didn't know I was going to be working in my swimsuit because, of course, why would you think that? And he's like, no, you have to put on your swimsuit because I splash a lot. She's like, I don't mind. And that's when he says this. She says, Mr. Oliver, she said with an effort, I'd really rather stay in my dress if it's all the same to you. And he says, but it isn't all the same to me. Lesson number 1. The force of his personality was underlined by the gentle, husky tone. Complete obedience at all times. Go and change, Miss Thomas. So she does. And she's like, okay, but what a weird thing to insist upon, and what a weird way to insist upon it. And then she shows up in the bikini, and he says, well. His voice was cool. So that's what you've been hiding under those drab clothes. You're well put together, Miss Thomas. And then he suggests that if she wants to take off her top, she can do that, like her bikini top, because everybody else is going topless. Why shouldn't she? Okay, and then as she's taking dictation, he's like, oh, you're going to burn. And it's like, you're the one who insisted she go into a bathing suit. He's, and she's like, I'll be fine. And he picks up some suntan lotion and just starts applying it to her while he's dictating. And then finally, okay, that was a slight edit while I found this. I should have found it right away because somebody dog-eared this, because they dog-eared it very emphatically. And so while he's like putting this suntan lotion on her very thoroughly, while she's in this bikini and he's still dictating the letter and she's still writing, doing it steno style. And, Mr. Oliver, she said in a shaky voice, I'm not going to slap your face for 2 reasons. One is that you are a very attractive man, and no doubt you've grown used to easy conquests by the poolside, which has made you forget your manners. She tried to steady her breathing. The other is that I'm sure you'd love me to do exactly that, so you can retaliate in kind. She met his amused eyes coldly. But I want you to understand one thing. If you ever attempt to interfere with me again, either in working hours or outside, I'm going to get the next flight back to London. And then he just continues flirting with her and being just like epically disgusting and gross. Yuck. It's like, yuck. Just yuck. And they discovered that they have something in common. They were both foundlings who were raised in the foster system in the UK. In care is the way the British phrase it. And she says she's being pestered by somebody who wasn't raised like that. Oh, have you looked for your mother? Did you find your mother? You should go look for your mother. Really, go look for your mother. Go look. And she's like, I'm not going to do that. And then later he's like, you already looked for her. You already found her, didn't you? And she says, he says, what did you find out? Oh, excuse me, let me do the voice. What did you find out? Anything that helped you explain your existence on this planet? You have no right to Was she as beautiful as you are? Stop! Or did you just get a nasty shock, something that froze your heart and turned you into the frigid little pink of prudery you are now? Yeah, that was when I threw the book across the room. And then later I picked it up and I was like, because I was originally, I mean, I already had serious doubts about these people in this book. And I thought, I'll skim. And then I ran across that passage and it was like, nope, just no, not going to do it. Not going to put myself through that. I did end up going back and trying to read the last few pages to see if there was anything redemptive about it. And it turned out that, like, apparently she makes friends with the kids who are, like, kind of very, very unhappy because he's such a bad father. And apparently at some point she goes away for a few days and he's saying, yes, I realized I loved you when you went away. I was miserable. The kids were miserable. Everybody was miserable. And it's like, oh, so she was nannying on the side. So he lost his 2-for-1 employee, or I guess he was trying to turn her into a 3-for-1 assistant nanny and personal services. And you lost her for a few days and then decided, I love her and I want to marry her. And now she'll just be doing everything for no financial compensation whatsoever. Nice, lovely, just charming. It was just, oh my God, OMG. No, just no. I often say about these books, and other people say this too, is that they were dark romance before dark romance was a thing. And it's like, they're dark romance without knowing that they're dark romance. And that's like, this is being presented as just like a cute way that people meet sometimes, as opposed to being just deeply, deeply disturbing behavior, just like unacceptably disturbing behavior. And it's like, you know, a dark romance, it's like they know that these are morally gray characters or morally dark characters, and that that this is problematic. These writers seem to think that this is just like a more extreme version of acceptable behavior, and it's not. And I don't need to read that. I have plenty of romances I can read that are better. And the thing is that not all of the Harlequin Presents are like that, even from that era. And that's actually pretty late for that kind of behavior. And it's like there are other, you know, they're not all like that. So you kind of have to kiss a few frogs to get the books that work. A little less disappointing on the literary experiences front was The Story in Meet Cute, 259 million miles. And it's not interstellar, it's interplanetary. The mission is to go to Mars. I enjoyed it well enough. It was, I don't want to give spoilers, but it didn't end quite the way I expected it to. I can see the potential for something happening in the future that that might turn it around. But I mean, it wasn't bad or anything. It was just kind of not quite what I was expecting. And that's kind of nice, actually. It's kind of nice to be surprised. So I like that. Did not like that. It's still on the other side of the room. And it's not going to stay there because it's too far out from the wall and I might trip on it. And that book has hurt me enough already. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please comment, like, share, subscribe, or don't. I'm not the boss of you. And I hope you have a good day or night.